Hi, my name is Phil Perkins, and I'm known as a whiskey guardian for Angel's Envy Kentucky Straight Bourbon that's finished in Ruby Port casks. Um, Basically, a whiskey guardian is just a fancy name for a specialist, and I go around and I do staff trainings and all the events for the Philadelphia area for Angel's Envy. So when I say finishing in Ruby Port Cache, I mean first it's aged 5 to 7 years in a new American white oak barrel, and then after it's done aging, we put it in a secondary cask, which is our Ruby Port casks, and then we age that up to 6 months. Now, all of our finishing and aging is all based on taste. So it is very important that as the aging process goes, we do a little tasting to make sure that the consistency is correct. What we like to say in Angel's Envy, it's not done till it's finished. So, Angel's Envy was started by the late Lincoln Henderson. Lincoln Henderson has a lot of accolades to himself. He was with a company called Brown-Forman for about 40 years. And then when he retired, his son Wes said, "Hey, Dad, we're not done yet." Because Lincoln back in the day wanted to try doing some aging and finishing on some of the bourbons and whiskeys before when he was with Brown-Forman, but he never had the chance. So they said, "Hey, let's do this." So Angel's Envy is the first bourbon that was ever finished with a Ruby Port barrel from Portugal. There are some scotches that have been aged and finished that way, but we are the first to do it. And so the name Angel's Envy. So that's actually a really funny story. So about 5% of all of our barrels, well, almost all barrels of any kind of bourbon or whiskey, they evaporate. And when they're evaporated, that's called the angel share. So Lincoln tasted his product and he said, "Wow, we finally got a better deal than the Angels, and they're going to be envious." So that's where Angel's Envy comes from. So Angel's Envy is a Kentucky straight bourbon. To be a Kentucky straight bourbon, you need to be aged at least 2 years, and we're aged 4 to 6. We are from Louisville, Kentucky, and we broke ground in there in 2013, and then we finally opened our distillery in 2016. So it's kind of cool. We're either the first or the last stop on the whiskey trail or the bourbon trail there, and I like to say that we're the best stop. So Angel's Envy was a family-run company for the longest time. It still is. Everyone who comes into this company is instantly family. We do have a new master distiller for the first time in 9 years, and his name's Owen Martin. He was with Stranahan's single malt whiskey from Colorado, and he had a lot of background on finishing. So again, Angel's Envy, that is their big thing. We want to have new innovative finishes, and and with our new innovative finishes, we want to try some crazy stuff that have never been done before, just like our first bourbon. The best thing about Angel's Envy, and this is personally why I like it so much, and I have a funny story about it, is Angel's Envy is 86.6 proof. And you're thinking, maybe that's not the highest proof, but I like to call this an entryway bourbon. An entryway bourbon is kind of a gateway into the world of bourbons, but you don't have to be a newbie to enjoy it, because sometimes when someone likes a certain type of bourbon, it's always nice to come back to try something new that they haven't had in a long while. But then again, a lot of people that don't like bourbons, they tend to like this bourbon a lot too. So actually, when I got this job, the guy who was hiring me goes, "Hey Phil, I bet you're a bourbon guy. What are your top 5 favorite bourbons?" I was like, "Oh, you're gonna hate me. I'm actually a vodka guy." And he's like, "What? Then why do you want to do Angel's Envy? This isn't like something, you're going to have to drink the product. You're going to have to tell people about the product, and you're going to have to be enthusiastic." And I was like, "Well, as a bartender for about 20 years, And it says a lot that this is the only bourbon that I actually really enjoy and I can drink neat. And yeah, so I have something cool to show you guys today. So if you look over here, this is our distillation process. Our distillation process, all whiskeys start out as a mash bill. Our mash bill is 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley. And then we turn it into White Dog. Now, this is a very, very high ABV alcohol. So it can't be over 125 before it goes into the barrel. But this is very, very close to that. And you don't want to be drinking this on your own. So after we age it, this is what it looks like after 4 years. After 4 years of aging, it turns this nice, beautiful brownish color. However, it will get a little darker over the course of the other years. But again, I said this is all based on taste. So after it's done aging, that's when we finish it. And we take all the barrels, we put them together, and we'll put them in that ruby port barrel. And this is after 2 months in that ruby port barrel. Okay, and then finally, this is our finished product. So if you get anything from what I'm telling you is that this is a fantastic product because it's not your everyday bourbon. And if you do have a guest or if you have someone that wants to try something new, this is a perfect suggestion. And it really, really goes well in a lot of different cocktails. It blends together with not just your old fashions and Manhattans, but you can do it with tiki cocktails. You could do it with a wide variety. So I really hope you enjoy Angel's Envy, and here's to you guys. Hey guys, I'm gonna be very honest with you. The very first take is the one I'm gonna submit. I kept trying to do different takes and all this kind of stuff, and let's just say they didn't take. But I'm gonna send you some outtakes. I think I have about a minute left, so good luck, have fun. This is my 10th take of me saying cheers. So one of my favorite things that Angel's Envy does, and this makes me more proud of the company than anything, it's called Toasted Trees. And every year, what we used to do is every time someone would take a picture of an Angel's Envy cocktail, a bottle, or anything that's Angel's Envy and hashtags Angel's Envy. Hi, I'm Phil Perkins, and I'm a whiskey guardian for Angel's Envy bourbon finished with port wine barrels. Fuck. Hey, you leaving me already? Guys, come back. I'm sorry, guys.